All right, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. This is going to be the weekly review where I go over what the market has done in relation to the analysis that I posted at the beginning of the week. The reason I'm doing this review a little bit earlier, as opposed to tomorrow night when I would normally do it, is I have an event tomorrow, so I will not be available. So I want to go ahead and post the review, just talk about what the market did, how it affected the analysis, and what to look forward to. So before we begin, let's just pray. God, we just thank you again for your blessing and for your goodness. Thank you again for another successful week at trading. Pray that you'll be anyone watching this video may be instrumental in helping them to improve their process. We thank you and we love you. Amen. All right, guys. This week, the markets, a lot of people are complaining about the markets, but this was actually one of the best weeks to actually trade the US30. And the reason why I say that, because the market moved exactly as it needed to move as it related to the trend. As you guys know, I'm 100% bullish. I only trade, a bullish bias on the US30, which means I buy from my largest higher lows and I take profit on my largest highs or my all-time high. So let's get into it real quick. All right. Now this week, you would have seen, and if you have not watched the video, the analysis video, please feel free to go to the YouTube channel and watch it so that you can understand what I'm going to be talking about here. All right. So this is where we started this week. And remember I mentioned to you that the market was making higher lows to higher highs, which means although the 2 hour and the 1 hour finished here at lows in the low position, this was not a signal to say that the market was going to continue down. A lot of people are saying, oh, there's going to be a huge gap down. There's going to be a waterfall. There's going to be this, that, yada, yada, yada. Okay, guys, remember, each time the market sells, it's only a temporary retracement to create the next higher low. The higher low was already formed on Friday. So that told you that on Friday, with the weekly candle expiring, the market was only going to go up after it confirmed the higher low that it already started making on Friday. So there's no surprise. A lot of you got excited when you saw this dip right here on Sunday evening, and you're like, oh my goodness, yes, it's going to continue down. And a lot of people jumped into sells and they regretted it, because after it bought up on Monday, you got another opportunity to actually close your sells. And I really hope you did, because after Tuesday, that was the last time the market actually came down to this point. Okay. So let's go over it real quick. So last week I posted, if you notice, I had 2 zones of interest. I had one from the week before and I had one for this week, where I said to you, I'm expecting that the buys are going to be generated from this zone. Okay. I posted it before any of this data was filled in. Okay. Go back and watch the video. Notice what the market did on Sunday evening. Boom. It touched right into this zone, formed the support and bought from here. Came up, it made only a lower high. Now, remember the rule that I've always said is Mondays, Tuesdays, and sometimes Wednesdays are the days that the market takes to consolidate, which we have here, lower high, higher lows, okay, retrace, okay, and display bouts of volatility. See all of these candles here with the wicks? These are volatility. These are volatility sessions. These are volatile candles. So it's normal what the market actually did Monday, Tuesday, and into Wednesday. And notice, right here we are at Wednesday, the market actually continued and it started to go with its trend. Its trend. This is where the all-time high was broken. Right here on Thursday, actually, the all-time high was broken. All right. It came very close on Wednesday evening. A lot of people were saying, oh, yes, it's a rejection. It's going to go down. No, it's only going to do a temporary sell before it actually continues. If you also watch my video you'll also see that in the video I mentioned to you guys, the market is not going to do any significant retracement until the all-time high has been hit. Guess what? We consolidated all week. The minute the all-time high was hit, was taken out yesterday, you had that major retracement. Almost took out all of the lows for the week, but because the market is making higher lows to higher highs, that is why you see that the market came here in London session this morning, found that support, and it's been consolidating ever since. Consolidation and volatility was the order of today. All right. So that is basically what we saw for this week. Again, here are the zones. This was the zone of interest for this week. Okay. Remember, I had this one here, and I said if the market comes down here, it would even be better for me because that means I'm buying at a huge or a bigger discount. Okay. We came right here in the zone of interest. I saw it happen there on Sunday. That was the first buy. Came back again on Tuesday. That was the second buy. As a matter of fact, it gave you 2 opportunities to buy on Tuesday. If you got in here, price came up, you would be in profit. Came back down here, you'd probably be in the red or just about at entry. And then it bought from here and it kept going up all of this week. Okay. So this was my zone of interest. Price came, every major buy started from this zone. Monday, Tuesday in this zone. Then, of course, it started, and then, of course, the highs started forming higher because that's what the market is doing. Higher lows, higher highs. Fast forward to today, okay? After the all-time high, you saw that retracement. When we had this retracement, there was a nice buy. I actually took this trade here this morning. It was a beautiful trade. It was a thing of beauty. Within 2 hours, I was out of this trade. Completed my target, everything out of this trade. Came in right here, right after 9:30. Nice trade. These 2 candles here, perfect trade. Exited right here on the top. As a matter of fact, my entry today, let me look in on it. My entry today, let me give you the exact entry. For today was 51,705.80. So 51,705.80 right here. Now you may be saying, oh, but the market didn't come here. Guess what? With the swaps and everything, if you look at the brokers chart, you'll see that 51,580 was actually the entry. I'll just bring up this. This is one of the accounts that I'm trading here. So let me bring it up. I'll show it to you. Here we go. So the entry, let me see, closed positions. Here we go. This was the entry today. Entry was, where is it? Where is it? Yeah, 51,705.80. Here we go. Entry price, 51,705.80. This was my exit price, 51,964.40. Okay, that was the exit price. See here, no fees that were charged, made $387 on this small move. Really nice entry. Okay, all right. Now, so looking back, so based on my broker, this is where the entry line was. Okay, and that's one of the reasons I don't use TradingView as a broker. So I basically just left that alone. But this was my entry price, all right, according to my broker. All right. And of course, the exit price would have been, and let's look back on this. The exit price right here would have been 51,964.40. So let's just plot this line. 51,964.40. Okay. So it says that this is where my entry price was. However, because of the broker and because of the swaps, because of the spreads, okay, this is where I exited, okay? All right, but it was a nice trade. Nonetheless, very nice trade. All right, as you can see, nice pips if you're using a bigger account. Easy trade. Easy, easy, easy. Easy trade. Okay? All right. So going back to it, here is what you will notice. So this is what the price did. All-time high was hit right here. So we have a new all-time high going into next week. Okay? Here we go. Price came down. It made a higher low. Okay? So you see the market is still making higher lows, higher highs. All right? And everything aligned with what the analysis says. The market is making higher lows to higher highs. Any sell that you see on the US30 is only a temporary retracement to create the next higher low. The last thing I want to point out, or one of the last things I want to point out to you, is actually, let's look at Brent Crude. Mentioned to you all of this week, guys, Brent Crude has been making lower highs, lower lows. There is no buy. The market on Brent Crude is not making higher lows, higher highs. Brent is falling, which means if Brent is falling, US30 is going to be rising. So you guys keep trading US30 and acting as if there's going to be this big crash. It's not going to happen. Get it out of your heads. It's never going to happen. Okay? It will continue to break the all-time highs. Here we go. US oil, same story. Lower highs, lower lows. There is nothing that tells you that this here is bullish. So I don't understand why guys come on and they try to convince other people and say, oh, oil is rising and oil is going to shoot up. Nonsense, guys. Do your analysis, trade the trend, and understand what the trend is doing. So here we go. That is why we had this move the way we had it. This was the lowest point of the week, made here on Tuesday. This was the highest point of the week, made here yesterday. Another all-time high was made on the US30. All right. So that was it for this week. I mean, it was pretty simple. The next video I'm going to post is going to be the analysis for the upcoming week, what I'm expecting for next week moving forward. But I'll tell you this much, guys, stop anticipating a big crash on the US30 is never going to happen. It's not going to happen. Any sell that you see played out on the US30 is only going to be a temporary retracement to the next higher low. Couple of things I just want to show you again. Here's another chart that I posted this week. This was the chart that shows you the trend of the 2 hour since March of this year. Okay, this was when it made the lower low. The other time that the 2 hour time frame made a lower low, notice what it did. It kept buying from here. So if you took this buy right here, you could have been in this trade even up until today. Guys, stop trying to fight the trend. The trend is your only friend. The trend is never wrong. The US30 is 100% bullish instrument. Get that in your heads. Until you understand that the US30 is 100% bullish and you keep trying to sell in a bullish environment on a bullish instrument, you will always lose. You may have some trades that you will get and you're like, oh yes, it's bearish. No, it's never 100% bearish. Any sell that you see, and see all of these sells right here? Yes, it does sell from time to time, but it's only a temporary retracement to create the next higher lows. Notice every single low has been falling higher. All right. So that was it. The next thing that I want to show you is oh my God, the seasonals chart. Here we look. Here we look. Go to the seasonals. Here we go. These are the seasonal charts for the last 5 years. 2026 is outperforming every year with the exception of 2021 so far, and it's still up. Now, if we apply the average, you'll see it's performing well above average. The last thing I want to mention about this, because I do post these things on my Instagram and on my TikTok page. Okay, this is a 0% line right here. 0% line. Anytime you see price dip below the 0% line and then break back above the 0% line, it's going to end the year on a bullish note. So you're not going to have a year like this where it's dipping down here. This 1 year where it finished below the line, notice it started and it stayed there. It never broke above the 0% line. So those of you who are anticipating that big crash, it's not going to happen. Last thing, this is my guaranteed 2026 projections that I posted at the beginning of the year. Go back and check all my posts. I was the only person who actually gave these projections all year. From the beginning of the year, okay, I made this post and this chart has been here. Okay, notice what happened. First take profit has been hit. Price has consolidated above this level ever since breaking it. Okay, my second TP level is going to be 53,590.9. This is another week where it has moved a target closer. So it's only a matter of time. It's not a matter of if those targets are going to be broken. It's just a matter of when, because they are guaranteed to be broken. Don't ask me to make apologies for my statements and for my confidence, because I'm not. I'm telling you that I guarantee that these take profits are going to get hit. Okay? The market, if you look at the monthly, this is a synopsis of the monthly chart. Guys, there's nothing on this thing that says lower high, lower lows. And that's what you need for a downtrend. Everything on this points to an uptrend. Higher lows to higher highs. All right? Now, I know I took a little bit longer on this review, but I just wanted to get into some things and let people understand that, you know, when you look at your analysis, when you look at the historical data, guys, you must apply it properly. You must understand how to read it. The markets are closed for the week. This is where the market ended. If you're expecting a big sell-off, you're in the wrong business. If you're in sells, you are going to lose your money next week. Again, the biggest bear trap happened again this week. And you're going to have another bear trap next week. The markets are going to fool you into thinking that it's going to be selling, only for it to reverse and continue to make all-time highs again. All right, so that was basically it for this week. Nothing much to say, but stay tuned. The next video that I'm posting is going to be the analysis for the upcoming week. Stay tuned. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Let's grow this community together. Let's grow trading together, and let's succeed together. Thank you, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.